Alright guys, welcome to 5 things I hate about my Ford Ranger. I want to start off this video by saying that I don't hate my Ford Ranger at all. It's a very great truck. I love it. This is my second one and I can't compliment it enough, to be honest with you, but I've picked out 5 and more things that I hate about my Ford Ranger. So let's get started with number 1. So my number 1 spot would be fuel economy. I've seen a lot of people complain about that. Me personally, the only time I've recorded my fuel economy, I got about 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers average combined, because I do highway and city driving. So I'd say it's not too bad. I'll have the conversion to miles per gallon on the screen. And I've had a lot of other people complain that these burn up as much fuel as V8s. And I would say it's pretty bad because this is a 4-liter V6 and all I've heard is that they're very gas guzzling. I haven't particularly noticed that, simply I think because the gas tank on these is 75 liters. Again, I'll have the conversion on screen to gallons for you American viewers. Yeah, so that's not something that I've necessarily noticed. However, some days I notice that it does guzzle some gas pretty quickly as well. So moving into the second thing I hate about my Ford Ranger, it would have to be the power windows. Now, I love having power windows. This is my first vehicle that had power windows, and unfortunately, when I go to put them down, here we go. So as you can see, these windows shake pretty violently, and I'm sure that there's a way to fix that. However, I got it like this, and I know other Ranger owners have the same problem. So that's my number 2 spot, shaky windows, hate that. My number 3 spot would have to be the traction control, simply because when the wheel speed exceeds 30 to 40 kilometers an hour, so 20 to 30 miles per hour, the traction control comes back on automatically and will engage the front brakes as well as cut power at the same time. Now you can disable that through cutting the ABS module fuse and whatnot. However, it would be nice because you can press and hold the button and it'll turn off traction and stability control. Like I said though, it reactivates it automatically when you exceed a certain speed. I think that if you want it off, it should be off, and it shouldn't decide for you. So moving into spot number 4, moving pretty quick here, I would say the rear end in these is very frustrating. This is the open differential option, and the reason I hate that could be due because of my bad tires there, but it'll cut power and transfer it to one other wheel. I've noticed in the rain though, it'll fishtail out and then transfer the power to the other side, and then it'll fishtail out to the other side, and it'll continue that pattern of transferring power and fishtailing out to each side. Where it's kind of like S-sliding down the street, where I've had that happen a good handful of times actually in the rain. So maybe if this was a limited slip differential, which was an option on these, it would perform a bit better. So coming in at the 5 spot of things I hate would have to be definitely the Ebrake. And the reason being, see, I've released it there, however, the truck disagrees. I believe it's the pedal spring that causes that. It's very common on these. My gray Ranger used to have this exact same problem as well. So what you have to actually do is lift the pedal up with your foot all the way up and release it at the same time to bring it all the way up. Very frustrating, especially if you have the 5-speed truck like I do. Parking brakes are very essential backup if you're leaving your truck in gear or not, to keep your truck still so it doesn't run away on you. And I think that the spring going like that very commonly is a big problem, and I'm sure it can be fixed pretty easily. However, that's definitely something I hate, and it's second nature to me now whenever I disengage the parking brake, but at first was very frustrating to get used to, for sure. So now I'm gonna move into some honorable mention. Would definitely be this LED light that I've installed into my truck. Now I say this is an honorable mention because this is something that I actually installed, and however I believe that the connector is dirty in there because, as you can see, the light was off and now it's on. However, sometimes it'll flicker and flash, and that's very frustrating. So I can definitely clean that at some point, but for the time being, oh yeah, you can see it right there. Very frustrating, especially at nighttime. It's like having a seizure. And the other honorable mention that I have lined up for you guys would definitely be the interior quality. It's very rattly, very noisy in here. It's not very good looking, to be honest. And when I'm driving, I'll play a clip for you now so you can hear it. So as you heard there's many rattles inside the interior. Actually, one specifically comes from the shift boot. I think there's something that rattles around in there. But overall, all the plastic trim pieces all rattle, especially when I have the heater going and I turn it off. You can hear it kind of cracking because it was hot and now it's cooling down. You can't really expect a whole lot for a truck about 10 grand on average, I would say, probably less now. I definitely like to make it look more luxurious over my ownership here and find ways to do that. So, alright guys, so that just about does it for the 5 things I hate about my Ford Ranger, plus some. Now again, no way am I bashing the Ford Ranger. I love this truck. This is my second one. On that note, if you guys would like to see 5 things I love about my Ford Ranger, be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts about the Ford Ranger, if you have one. And be sure to leave a like as well, so I know that you want to see that video. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, because this truck build is ongoing, and if you want to see the progress, then that's the best way to do it. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Have a great day.